Good morning. Here I am pressing the Kingpin bushing back in. Oh, I'm getting ready to assemble the spindle to, I don't know what part you call that, but get the Kingpin in, and you see there's a thrust washer on the bottom to take the weight, and there are shims to go in between the thrust washer and that part to take up the play, up and down play. So we'll see how it goes together. First, I'm starting a new Kingpin in the top. Well, have to put it in from the bottom, but you'll see how I'm going to do this. I'm not putting a thrust washer in. Put it in from the bottom up. Now, I'm sure this side of the thrust washer goes down thrust bearing because it's cupped. You wouldn't want it up because then moisture would go in it and sit right in it. So that's how it goes in. Now we'll fit some, see how many thrust washers fit in there. How many did they send with it? They send 4. Now I gotta get my mic and see if they're all the same thickness. 8/1000. 8/1000. Oh, they're all about 8/1000. I'm going to measure some of the old ones. The old ones are the same. I think it's going to take 2. Two won't go. Try 1. Yeah, 1 is feeling good. There, the pin is going in. I'm rotating it. I have it turned so the flat spot's in the right place. Now through the bolt hole where the lock pin goes, I'm going to put a little sleeve retainer in it and work it back and forth. I didn't want to put it on now because I didn't want any sleeve retainer in the bushing area. Well, no stellar reviews on this Kingpin kit. You saw yesterday the bushings dropped right through on spindles, so I had to use the old bushings, which were like new because they had just been replaced 40 years ago. And now the lock pin that goes in here, and it goes against this. There's a flat on the lock pin, and now the lock pin that goes in here, there's a flat on that lock pin which goes against this flat spot to lock it in. And if I find one of the old ones, I'll have to check. But I thought this would have a taper to it, so as it went in farther, it would wedge it tight. And I don't know if the original had a taper or not. But the new ones do not. And they will not fit in. Because my thought is with a slight taper on here, as it goes in, the Kingpin would rotate to match it, and then the farther you pulled it in, the tighter it would get. But it won't go in at all. What I'm working on, I'll show you. What I'm working on is hand filing that lock pin, and I'm trying to get a little taper to it so that it will go all the way in. So like I say, this rebuild kit has less than stellar reviews for me. Now I've filed this pin. I put it in, see where it's interfering, and then take it out and file it. And I have it filed, so now there's about an 0.008 taper from this end to this end, so that it should lock tighter the farther it goes in. Happy with it. It's filed enough so it goes in all the way, so the nut and lock washer goes all the way on. I'm going to file it just a little bit more. And you can see it makes contact all the way. So I'm going to file it just a little bit more, and then it's going to go in to stay. Now it's in good and tight. I can put the nut on the other side, the nut and lock washer. I'll get a wrench to tighten that up. Well, that feels really, really good. Now we have caps that go on either end. First the cap goes in there, and then the snap ring. I don't know where my snap ring player, well, my snap ring pliers is broke. I want to put the grease fittings in and see how they take grease. Oh, taking grease. Oh, that makes me happy. You can see the grease working its way out. And all that's left on this one is put these dust caps in the end, which I don't know how long they're going to stay in. The one on the bottom side sets right in and will lift right out again. So I'm just thinking, this might sound silly, but I might put some JB weld on those when I put them in to make sure they stay in. I know the other, when I took it apart, a couple of them were missing. So I'm going to put the other one together and then it can go back on the car. Well, it's a few days later, and as you can see, my stepson's got the spindles back on the Corvette chassis and rotors and the calipers for the disc brake conversion on the front. So that all went on real good without a hitch. But remember me telling about these lock pins? How the replacements were straight? This is one of the originals. And it has, there you see, 4397. And here you see 442. So there is a taper to the originals, and that's how I filed the replacements. And then they went in and locked good. So, and we actually got 2 sets of replacement ones. Another set came with seals. I don't know where they are right now, and they also measured straight. So it always pays to check your replacement parts. So I think this is going to be it for this video. The next one, we'll be doing some work on the block. And we'll be pulling the rear axles and the rear gear carrier out because he wants to change gear ratios and put in a posi or limited slip or whatever you want to call it. And also, this time next week, I'll be heading off, as I said, to do a collaboration with another YouTuber. Well, it's for a visit and collaboration. At this time next week, I should be at O'Hare in Chicago, and I'm going to be heading southwest. And I'm talking a long ways southwest because I'm having a layover in LA, and then I'm going to be going a lot farther southwest. So I'll let you know where that's going to be. And thanks again for watching.